The Whale is the latest film from the eternally divisive filmmaker Darren Aronofsky, whose extremely loud style and presentation of narratives often leads to either eye rolls or unbridled praise from his audience, while Mother was the height of those reactions as it was essentially his Tenet, a film where all his criticized narrative tropes and signatures as a filmmaker took center stage. The Whale saw him return to awards acclaim for the first time since Black Swan, which The Whale is really similar to, although The Wrestler shares the most similarities out of all his works. Based on the play by the same name, the film depicts a severely overweight Professor Charlie who attempts to reconnect with his daughter as his death is looming near. Charlie's existence is akin to a beached whale. The water is just at his feet, and yet he can't seem to reach the sea himself and needs a push. His condition at the moment is revealed to be self-imposed as some sort of punishment for his so-called contribution to the death of his partner. He is also subconsciously matching people's view of his sexuality by stacking on the pounds, and is committing his version of self-harm due to his depression. The help and resources he needs are all at his fingertips, as he has the funds and support from his friend to get better, although her choice of groceries and food to bring him does raise a few eyebrows. However, he does not wish to continue this path as he cannot take what comes with the weight he's put on. The shame and looks of others pierce his soul. He truly deep down wants to get better and be as free and healthy as the bird he feeds fruit. And for a moment he genuinely seems like he is no longer content with the state of his life. He's tired of being just a being that amasses weight and wealth until he dies just to be in service to his daughter's future, who is the only reason why he hasn't met his end, as he wants to save up enough to make sure that she is taken care of financially. Once this is done, he would be happy to pass. Said daughter, regardless of his feelings, is genuinely the manifestation of everything he hates about other people, as she has a complete indifference to others, and her meanness knows no bounds. Instead of acknowledging this, he chooses to outright ignore her mean-spirited nature and twist the reality of her actions and words. He even misconstrues her doxing of a kid as her trying to help, although that's partly due to the cult member's misinterpretation. Her resentful and cruel nature is partly due to the immense impact that Charlie's abandonment has had on her life, which draws a nice parallel to Moby Dick. Charlie being the whale and his daughter being Ahab, who like her became bitter and filled with rage after the whale maimed him. But for Ellie, this maiming is emotional, and the desired act is reconciliation and forgiveness, not physical revenge. He believes that she is a good person up until his death, where he even hallucinates that his daughter is reaffirming his beliefs. And while there may be some salvageable kindness and goodness deep down in his daughter as she is still a kid, and somewhat exhibited the desire to reconnect, it is still insane to not be able to see or acknowledge that there is a lot of work to be done. Charlie's pure-hearted delusions can come off as sincere belief, but in reality he's just trying to have the one thing he's been planning to give away his life for turn out to be good. In his death, he sheds the weight that crushed him for years and is given a moment of comfort and ascends to heaven. But we know that those final moments didn't really occur in reality. He more than likely died in front of his daughter and is hallucinating his final moments. And while the initial shock will wash over her and will for sure make her cry, she'll more than likely take a picture of him and he'll end up like that dead dog on her Facebook. It's kind of a depressing ending if you view the final moments as the cope it is. The film seems to be yet another work where the director examines religion, but in this case, he isn't adapting a biblical tale like he did previously with Noah and Mother. Here, he seems to question the very nature of religion as he frames it as a delusional cope that's cult-like. And while that cope does provide some comfort before passing, it has those who practice it ignore reality, much like Charlie chooses to ignore the faults in his daughter and practice blind faith.
She's a strong writer.
That's your response?
While such a scorched earth approach can be a little off-putting to some, such is the nature of Aronofsky's work, although one still wishes that some characters would be less on the nose like the literal cult member. While definitely one of the most rough around the edges works that Darren Aronofsky has ever made, The Whale has still managed to garner quite the passionate reactions from its haters and fans alike, which I guess is far better than complete indifference. Do you agree with my explanation of The Whale? Comment down below if you do or don't.